it's Hollywood City, and go in Mural Street exhibition. Let's go. Let's go.
Your maps, if you have not picked up a free map, please go ahead and do so that you can hang on to that and come back at your leisure. And we're going to wait exactly till 6 p.m. to make sure that everybody is here for the tour. Oh my goodness, and we have dogs. It's a very special tour when we have dogs on the tour. Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I think you were from the Dog Scouts.
That's great.
There's only two respond. We had a couple of people that got sick, so I really appreciate it.
I love the dog.
Sorry, do you need this?
No, I can use my clothes. So hang on to your arms. And by the way, the maps are online. If you go to hollywoodcra.org, it should be on there. There's always information up there as well, more information on the artists and things like that. So like I said, we're going to give it 2 more minutes and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm very excited you're here. The weather is perfect for a mural tour. And so I'm pretty excited. And while I have you here, and I'm going to mention it again at the end, if you guys are interested in arts and culture, next Saturday in downtown and a little bit on the beach, we're going to have the very first Art Hollywood in conjunction with Fort Lauderdale Art and Design Week that's starting to go on this coming week and weekend. So we're going to have over 20-something like artist studios. There's going to be a live glass blowing demonstration at 3 o'clock at the Arts Park, Hollywood Hot Glass. I will be giving another mural tour, but it's going to start at a different location. And there's just a lot of the galleries end to end. Old Ghosts and Drastics are going to be taking place, and we're going to go by Drastics tonight too. So tell your friends, come by, meet some of Hollywood's local artists, buy some of their art, tell them that they're great because artists need that. And I'm going to tell you to do the same thing. All the artists here, if you really like their work, make sure you reach out to them and tell them what great work they're doing. And they all like sell smaller paintings and prints, so if you want to take a piece of their work home, that's also important. You know, we like to support our artists here in Hollywood. So, okay, it is exactly 6 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and start the tour. For those of you who just got here, my name is Jill, and make sure you have your maps. Does everybody have their maps? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So tonight we're going to kind of, every time I do a mural tour, well, every other month or every third month, the tours are different. So if you come to this tour, we're not going to see all the murals because we have 33, and it's quite, and some of them are spread out. So if you look on your map, you can see, but a lot of them are concentrated in the downtown core right here. So we're going to go ahead and walk around and look at probably like 10-ish. If you have any questions while we're walking, because we're going to be walking and talking, feel free to walk up to me. If I am talking and you have a question, just raise your hand. I'm delighted to answer any questions. So we're going to walk this way, and we're going to talk about some murals down here. And also, just so you know, this is our artisan market. We have live entertainment going on at the end of the street. And also, there's so much to tell. At 7 p.m., if you meet here 7 and 9, we have Evan Snow, Choose 954, doing a gallery tour. So if you want to go on another tour after this one, by all means. He stops by and all that good stuff. These cars aren't here. I'm a little surprised to see them here, but it is the building owner's preference. If they want to park here, they can. So we're going to talk about these first 2 murals. The one over here you can see is by Emo and Remote, and that was done in 2017. And the one behind you, in fact, I'm going to scoot all the way down here just so that you guys can hear me. You get a better look at what we're looking at. Okay, so this is a little bit better, right? I already have a headset. I don't want to be like screaming into a headset. So this mural over here is by Remote and Emo. Remote just had a solo show down in Wynwood last night, and he's the one that's doing the mark making. Okay, so if you look here, this is called mark making, and like literally it's because he's making marks. Now the way he did these beautiful marks, and you can see how stunning they are in the sun right there, but the way that he did this was he took a roller, like a paint roller, and not the big one that you normally use, it's kind of like the little white foamy ones. You guys know what I'm talking about to do? Yes. Yeah. And I'm not making this up, he had several colors of latex paint, because the majority of this is latex paint, and he was just tapping. So he would tap in the patterns with different colors of paint. It's very meditative for these types of artists. We have a lot of mark makers in the Downtown Hollywood Mural Project, which, now that I have all of you in front of me, this is the Downtown Hollywood Mural Project. I'm Jill, and I work for the CRA. I'm the Art and Culture Coordinator. This is a partnership between the CRA, the Community Redevelopment Agency of Hollywood, such a mouthful, of Hollywood. So I'm under the umbrella, I actually work for government, which is super cool. I never thought when I was in art school that I would be working for government, but I do, and it's such a fun job. So I'm the person who is the facilitator for these murals. I help shepherd them through the process. Now, these are all on private property. So the way that it works is I usually work with the property owner and help them find a muralist, and sometimes they have a muralist, but normally I help them. I have a huge database of artists. Most of them are from the Tri-County area because this is a very, very budgeted project. Actually, it's whatever the property owner wants to pay because we have a 50% reimbursement grant, but normally property owners are trying to keep everything on budget, so it's a kind of a lower, it's not a commercial mural project. Sometimes if you see giant murals in places that are sponsoring a vodka company or something like that, just like an advertising in a magazine, those have higher budgets. So these are artist-directed murals, meaning I work with the property owners, they select an artist or they come with an artist, and then I help facilitate, help make sure the mural gets done, help make sure the artists have everything they need, do some social media. So I'm a facilitator for all of these lovely murals, and I've been doing this with the CRA since 2012.
Give me a big round of applause.
So, patience and persistence, my friend. Again, art school government, it was not so just to kind of give you an idea how all of this happened, it wasn't kind of random. In a lot of other places, like in Fort Lauderdale, in Miami, unless you're in Wynwood Walls, it's not a cohesive project, right? It's kind of piecemeal. So that's why these are going to be a little bit different. So back to Remote's mark making. Beautiful, stunning. We get a lot of yoga poses in front of the sun when there's no cars here. Lots and lots of really, really beautiful engagement photos. Lots of good backdrops for these murals. We love it. Just tag Florida's Hollywood in them so I can repost them. Now, I get a lot of questions. So this is Emo and Remote. A lot of questions why there's so many marine murals, so many nature murals. A lot of the muralists are really into that, but also we're about less than 2 miles to the Atlantic Ocean. How many of you are local residents? Okay, so and how many of you are from out of town? So see, we have a lot of tourists here, and thank you for coming, and welcome everyone, and thank you locals, thanks for coming out, it's great. But we're really close to the marine life, so we have a lot of murals here with marine life, which you're gonna see. So this is Emo and Remote, and now if you flip around and turn around behind you, you're gonna see our newest mural by Squiggle Daddy. And Squiggle Daddy's a female. Why she went with Squiggle Daddy? She was talking to her friends one day, and they were all like, if you just add Daddy to your name, it's really funny if people remember it. Yeah, and I gotta tell you, when I first saw her work, I was like, yeah, it kind of does. Now, why does this mural look so much different than the other murals? Again, this is another type of pattern making, but this is going to be a barbershop lounge. What they're going to do is they're going to probably put some sort of flooring down. They're going to put an awning down. They're going to put furniture in a bar in front of this. So you don't want something that is super busy. If you flip around and look at the thing behind you, imagine that with furniture, and it would be very, very busy. So the person that actually, I was working with the property owner, I showed him this, and he's like, that's perfect. Our motive is black and white. Once we have the furniture in, it'll look really cool. So this mural is done, but this area is incomplete. So if you're wondering why it might, because I get a lot of questions think that that's kind of why. If she was going to do something that was going to be seen more, it would have been more detailed and had a little bit more, I guess, things to see up close. But, you know, if people are sitting at you, you're going to see this mural from far away. So I think that it's appropriate for this, especially with their theming. Again, this is a partnership between the property owners and us, so we're trying to just make this place so beautiful for everyone to see. So the next mural it's a little loud, so I will try to talk, but I mean, you're going to be blown away by it anyways, so just enjoy the visuals. I'll try to talk. If you can hear me, I appreciate it. We're going to walk this way, but I'm going to make it snappy so that we can move on. It's a little loud over here, but this guy is, a lot of times people let me know when artists are coming down this way, because again, this is it's a lower budget, non-commercial mural project. So we, you know, property owners don't have big budgets like brands to fly people in, right? So when I hear that somebody's coming down, if they want to catch an extra gig or whatever, I like to see if they're interested. And Bo Stanton was coming down from Brooklyn. He's originally from California. He does a lot of like underwater kind of wreck, marine stuff, and then regular marine stuff, but like mermaids and like, who's the king of the sea? Titan? Neptune. Yeah, like Neptune-esque, but beautiful. And I mean, he makes these paintings, like his actual paintings are like so detailed and breathtaking, just like his murals, but on a smaller scale. They're kind of mind-blowing. He worked as an apprentice with an illustrator for some time, so that's how he honed his skills. So again, this is kind of like, if you can see the bottom of the face, it's kind of like a statue. Hi. And then the cool thing about it is this business is named Bean and Rose, so he added a rose for the business. This is done with exterior latex house paint and spray paint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shoot right across and we're going to walk through that alley right there. Go stand. Yeah. Another Mother Nature. So this is a mural by Alice Mizrahi and her then fiance, now husband. So he assisted. He did a lot of the backgrounds, and then he actually has a mural over on the American Legion that he did that is exceptional. Yeah, with the chicken wire, and it actually comes off like bas relief. By the way, there's a car behind, and this is an actual functioning alley, so if we could just get flat up against the wall and let him through, unless he decides to reverse. I don't know. So anyways, Alice is a wonderful mural artist. She also does prints and has a very robust gallery practice. She also has started doing sculptures, but in this mural, she commonly does in her work a lot of goddess kind of creatures. So this is a nature goddess. You can tell she's a nature goddess because she's the leaf in the middle of her forehead. She also is feeding birds here. And again, remember I spoke about the marine life, so her hair and the background kind of look like the ocean, right?
Yes.
Super, super nice. Now this particular mural is our only mural with elements that are kind of mosaic in. And because it's a mirror mosaic, at certain times of the day when the sun hits just right, you get that kind of disco ball effect in the alley, which I find as an added gift with purchase. It's super fun. So she used acrylic, like regular acrylic that you would use on a canvas. Most of what you see here. Oh, guys, there's a car, so we have to get flat again. Sorry. Don't worry. After this, we're going to be back on the sidewalk. It's all puffy.
I think you give it up.
So yeah, no. Anyway, this is a very old downtown, so they have cute alleys. Okay, yeah, hey, what's up? All right, thanks for coming in here before. Okay, so what's really cool, she also used spray paint, as you can see. She used stencils, right? So this is like very mixed media, which you don't see that often in a mural. And she also used some ink pens and like on some of the details. So again, this is Alice Mizrahi. I think it's just lovely. You can always tell her work. It's very easy. She has this is the way her work looks. And she does tons of work in Miami, and she's one of those Miami, New York people. So she's back in New York. She was just in Miami for a while, and she's back in New York with her husband, who they're both artists. So this is Alice. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna scooch around the corner. Just watch where you're walking if you stand on the grass, because people walk their dogs here from the condos. So that's all I'm going to tell you. Just be careful if you're walking on the grass.
How did she do the glass in the last one?
Glue?
Just like broke it up?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was liquid cement or that. If you're walking on the grass, just be mindful that people walk their dogs here. So just look where you're walking, please. They should, but does everybody do what they're supposed to do? So just watch if you're standing in the street. This is a through street, and people will run you over because they're all texting, so just be careful. Yeah, nobody's paying attention. I can't wait till we all have self-drive, the cars drive themselves. I feel that's for sure. So this is a Milagros mural. Now, they live in New Orleans, but they travel around and are in Miami quite a bit. So if you've been to Miami, you've seen stuff. If you've been to Young at Art, you might have seen their stuff. If you've been to New Orleans, you might have seen their stuff. And again, they're a boyfriend, girlfriend, but they always enlist friends too. So it's a collective, Milagros, y'all. Wonderful human beings. So what they do, again, remember how I spoke about mark making before? This is more mark making. And when you're on top of it, it looks really cool. But when you stand basically where the woman in the white shirt is standing, right in the back, in the summer, when light or wind, it's like this, and during the day, and you stand back there and you start staring at these walls, they start to move, okay? And that is an intentional effect, and it's called vibrating color. And if you've ever taken color theory, you have done that exercise. And they take advantage of this optical illusion, and it is trippy, y'all. Like, you come out here and you're like, wait, what? It's just it starts to move, but the light has to be right on it and very bright. Once you get a little closer, obviously you can see that it's just a bunch of patterns. But something so simple like a pattern really enhances this building. This building was the original 1926 garage for the buses in Hollywood. So you can kind of see the openings here. This is where they parked buses. So this is a very, very old building, and it has very interesting architecture. Look at it. So I think that, and from far away you can see it as well, but they really took advantage of this unique, interesting architecture and took it to a space that's more of a modern kind of contemporary, and if you're here when the light is right, optical illusion kind of a mural, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a great use of this architecture. So now what we're going to do is we're going to scoot on down to Anniversary Park. So this is a good time if you have questions for me, because we're going to walk about a block through some restaurants. If you have a question or comment or anything like that, just come up and ask me. This mural right here that you can see the top of is, I would say, our most famous if you're thinking about people who are fine artists who you might have heard of. This is Kenny Scharf, and Kenny Scharf was a contemporary of Keith Haring in the 80s, and he does what's called pop art. And he does these things, and they all look like different types of emotions, right? You have every single type of emotions going through right here in this Kenny Scharf mural. And I often talk about that cartoon movie that I forget the name of. Inside Out. Yes, Inside Out. That it kind of like in my mind, it refers to this. So there's so many different emotions going on there. He did this really in a beautiful way. If you saw him create the mural, the way that he moves his arms, and it was almost like dancing. And the other really cool thing that you have to know about Kenny Scharf is that he does these things called car bombs with a Z. And if you follow him on social medias, he'll let you know when he's in town. If you bring your car to him, he will put a creature like this guy who's escaping the picture plane, by the way. Look how cute he is. He's like, no, I'm not going to be in this mural. I'm leaving. Remember, guys, this is just paint on the wall. I attach all these emotions to things, but as we all do with art, and I think that that's what he counts on, right? So this guy's escaping. There's another one you can't see over there who's escaping the picture plane. But it's a really, really great mural. So he paints these on people's cars for free. As long as you're like not going to turn around and sell it for like you have to sign a thing that says you're not going to turn around and sell it for more than the actual value of your like tercel or whatever. But yeah, like people with like vintage Mercedes were driving up. This van, the college van, did it. Like he just would. And so you see them around town. You will see people down here with this on their car because he's painted them for free, and that's just like a public service. But he's super, super famous. He's awesome. He's still making art. He travels all around the world. He's based in LA now, but he does show quite a bit with Frederick Snitzer in Miami. And he's a another wonderful human being. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna scooch on past here to the park that's right on the opposite corner of this block. So just be careful when you're going by the construction. Here, wandering around tonight, come back. Check on Ken here and tell him some jokes or something. Liven up his evening, tell him a story. But he's gonna be done with this, and he's gonna let you know where to stand. And then it's this that you've all seen on the interwebs, those pictures of where it's like it's 3D. It looks 3D. It's called anamorphic, if I'm not mistaken, right? Anamorphic? I got it this time. Usually I'm like Animaniacs. That was a cartoon. So yeah. So he's working on this, and it looks like it's the old bird and cat at bird feeder situation, which cats, I love them. So this is Ken, and he's going to be working all night. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this beautiful sidewalk. Did you know we have 11 sidewalk murals here? We have a bunch from Van Buren all the way down to Washington on South 21st. They're on your map. And we have one right here, and then we have 4 on Tyler. So we're gonna go down Jen's, and then we're gonna go down. Hi guys.
Whatever it is, don't leave it. She's like, it's in the back. Leave it. You too.
I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Well, we'll probably do it here and more on the Grabster because they can actually see it. So I'm glad that Riley's here. I wanted to talk about the beautiful Hawks mural that we have in front of us, but also, and good, someone turned on the light. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we also have these little, they look almost like credit cards on lots of the murals down here. And so if you go ahead and download this app called the Art Matcher app, and it's right on there, and it tells you how to do that on Android or the Apple. You can go ahead and kind of like how you do Apple Pay, just tap your phone and it will bring up the information on this mural. So just know that if I'm not around to yap at you about a mural, that you can always get more information here too, okay? And did you want to say anything?
Hello everyone, how are you doing tonight?
Hi.
Give it up for Jill, she's a fantastic host.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say we are working with Art Hollywood, the Fort Lauderdale Art and Design Week, to create kind of a digital tour guide for all the art and all the arts experiences.
Yeah.
So if you tap your phone, these little tags, it pops up with all the information you want about the mural and gets you into a map of all the other artwork in the area.
So when we go over to the Grabster where there's a little bit more light, he'll do a demo so you can kind of see what we're talking about, because seeing is better than just
What is this
telling
one,
you.
Jill?
This is Hawks, and Hawks is another mark maker. That is right, we have lots and lots. And he does these concentric kind of circles that have a little bit of a, like it's circles on circles on circles, but he calls them portals because the way that he gets the layering done and the way that it gets smaller and smaller kind of gives this mural a sense of depth. He likes to place his murals in schools and playgrounds, so this was a really great wall that he wanted to do. Same thing with Grabster, who we're going to look at next, because now these children have, instead of just a plain alley, they have some really good murals to look at. So the way that he does these marks is each one of those little kind of C shapes that you see is one spray from his spray can. So that is what he's doing. All of these marks are single squirts from a spray can, or, yeah, no, these are all spray. The last mural, this is his second mural in the same spot, and the last one he did use an airless compressor to paint some of this, but this is all spray cans. So just keep that in mind. And it is stunning when there's more light on it, even though it's beautiful in the dark. If you want to flip around, Riley's going to go over to the Art Matcher tag on this building and show you guys how it actually works. Remember, you have to download the app, but it's a good app, especially if you're into art and culture.
What is this?
It's called Art And if you have the Art Matcher app, you can come and try this one yourself as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of show you. It's real simple. It's one step. It's one step.
Three steps.
There it is. And it'll pop open a window for you on this mural.
Sweet girl, stop.
And you get to look, you get to learn about the mural, save it for later, share it to a friend, see what else is on board. I'd love to get some folks tapping their phones, kind of seeing how it works.
What's the app called?
It's called Art Matcher, and you actually don't need to download the app. You can just tap your phone and it'll pop up with the information.
Yes.
Yeah, let's try it.
And while everyone is tapping and potentially getting the Art Matcher app, I wanted to talk about this stunning mural by Grabster. He's really into nature. Purple building, this is from 1925. And again, I want you to, while you're walking towards me, notice the pattern that looks like wallpaper on this building. This is another mural. Not all buildings can get a figurative mural like the one we just saw. So this is another person that does mark making. We have Stephanie Melissa here, and what she's doing is these meditative shapes that she doesn't attach meaning to, she just makes them. And so she just calls these her doodles, and she just makes these patterns. She does it on furniture, on cars, on all kinds of textiles. But this is what she does. And this building lended itself to this type of mural instead of something that was busy and figurative. It's just, simply it's just wallpaper. But it's still a mural, and we still appreciate it, and it still makes this building look a little bit more interesting in context with the fact that it's a tattoo parlor. We have a beautiful sidewalk mural in front of it too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to scooch around this corner, but I want you to look on the ground at the next sidewalk mural, because a lot of people look at it and they're like, it's so boring. The next mural that you're going to see under your feet is actually a coloring book. It was meant to be on these beautiful days, bring people out and go ahead and take your chalk and color in the flowers. So if you're looking at it and you have children that like to do that sort of thing, please bring them down. But we're going to go around the corner to the next mural. Yeah, of course. Look at this space. It's really cute in here. And we're looking forward to seeing the stuff that they do. And again, this would be a perfect spot to come and color the sidewalk one beautiful Sunday. Or any other day, really. All right, so this is, we're getting close to the end of the tour. This is another very arty, local arty business named Drastics, and if you come on the gallery tour, you'll get a good look at what goes on in here. But we're gonna go to the very last mural you guys are gonna see tonight. And then I'm gonna let you go in case you wanna grab a drink or anything, or go to the gallery tour, which is at 7 p.m.
Did you know that?
And I'm going to talk about that in a second, but before I talk about it, I just want to remind everybody that if you're into art and culture, that we have partnered with Art Matcher, as you just saw, and Fort Lauderdale Art and Design Week, the Art and Culture Center, the Arts Park, Young Circle, the Historic House, the Historical Society, Hammerstein House, and one other place, the Meek on the beach. We're going to have open studios during Art Hollywood on January 28th from noon to 5 p.m. And there'll be more information forthcoming, but if anybody is interested in attending, please come and get a business card from me and write me, and I'll send you all the information, because we're still like this is the first year and it's almost a voluntary effort. So I'm an artist and I'm an art cheerleader. We're all helping out, and we're making it happen. So Art Hollywood, this is the first annual one. We're really, really, really excited about it.
What time?
So it's from noon to 5 p.m. You can always check the Art and Culture Center website too. They have information, and it's going to be super fun. You'll get to meet over 20 local artists. So, as I clear my throat, this is our last mural that I'm going to show you tonight. Remember, I do this tour every third Saturday at 6 p.m. and next month's tour will be different from this month's tour, and quite often we have an actual real live living and breathing muralist that you can pummel with questions and make them feel awkward and uncomfortable as they talk to the audience, because they're not as verbose as I am. But we always love to have them because it's so interesting. Each one does something completely different the way they do everything. So this mural is particularly adorable in my mind because it was done by boyfriend, girlfriend at the time. They go by Nice and Easy now, and they're married and they have 2 children. So it was like they were still dating when they were doing this. They might have been engaged, but anyways, they live in Miami, and they do a lot of stuff that has to do with this South Florida vernacular, the look and feel, like the Miami Vice, or just the fact that, you know, if you don't have access to a swimming pool or the ocean here in the summer, it's going to be a really long summer for you, right? So these things are important, and they kind of remind us, in my mind, of childhood, because that was like the most important thing. If you grew up down here, you're like, okay, what swimming pool are we going to? Whose house are we going to? Who has the pool? So this is the bird's eye view of a swimming pool. As you can see, you got a diving board, you have the floaties and everything. And one of the things that you'll notice about these type of murals is that they do fade. It's just house paint, and it's how often do you paint your house? You don't just paint your house one time and you're done. It'd be super cool, but usually you have to paint it every so often. So this mural is from, I think, 2015 or 2016, and it faces east, so it gets a lot of sun. We have a program in place for property owners now, where part of it is that they do a UV coating. At the time this was painted, there is no UV coating. So like the Grabster mural has a UV coating on it, and that will prevent the fading. But this was a bit more vibrant, but that's just part of the process. So that is nice and easy. They do lots of stuff like this. They do sculptures, they do super fun stuff, but it all kind of has to do with the aesthetic of being in South Florida. And we really are, I really love this mural. It always kind of gives me that warm feeling and remembering childhood, and just like Miami Vice and all that good stuff. So I really like it. Plus they're just so cute, and their kids are cute. They look like little cupids. I mean, it's like a whole bunch of love. Anyways, one of my greatest perks of my job is we're getting to work with all these different kinds of artists, so it's really awesome. So this was the mural tour. I hope everybody had a good time. I really appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Tell your friends, and oh, you're welcome. And remember, there'll be another, like during Art Hollywood, it's going to be at 2 p.m. in the meeting at the Young Circle studio. So we can do another mural tour, but it'll be different. I promise. It'll be some, we're going to hit the same, but we're going to probably do more on the other side. And then if you come back next month, you'll see different murals. So again, I appreciate it. Now, if you want to take the gallery tour, it's at 7 and 9, and we meet at the white information tent. So if you want to take a break from tours and go on your merry way, there's tons of stuff to do. If you want to come back for Evan's 9 o'clock tour after getting something to eat, by all means, there's tons of information. If you're looking for anything to do, just go back to that white information tent. There's tons of postcards and brochures. So thank you. My name is Jill. If you have any questions, I have business cards, or you can just reach me at the CRA. Thank you.